Okay. So once again, in the spirit of the way we love to work, our first step in our journey together tonight is going to be the prayer of unity. So if you want to just get yourself into that place of closing your eyes and focusing on the breath of life, the Alpha and Omega. It's the first thing we do, it's the last thing we do, and everything in between has become quite the ride. So just breathing into the very depths of where you can take it into your solar plexus, way down deep. And allow yourself that breath to just going to mute a couple more people here. Yeah, take that breath in as you connect to your soul, yourself, and your source. That's going to be the theme of tonight, making sure that they're not only connected, but they're in alignment with love, and that it always reflects you as a soul doing the best you can to be the best you are, to complete the role and the purpose that you have in coming here. And as you're breathing out, make it intentional that you release any resistance to what needs to happen, what needs to change, what is necessary for you to shift within, whether it's your conscious thinking, whether it's the emotional being, whatever aspect of you that is lying and holding resistance towards this shift into the quantum field. Just allow yourself to give yourself permission to release it and let it go. You may have times when you are understanding the details of that. There may be moments when you don't understand the details of that. What we ask you to do is to bridge that gap or to bridge that space with trust. Trust that everything you're being asked to do, everything you are being shown to do, everything you're being encouraged to do is there to enhance you, to bring your love to a higher level of not only awareness within yourself, but a level that you can be aware of others in a compassionate way, more accepting, more loving, more kind, more gentle, less judgmental, and definitely not fearful. So that breath in and breath out right now, just see it as a beautiful cycle of rejuvenation, regeneration, and just keep seeing it expand and expand until you can actually get it to that place where you can feel a connection to joy. Be in joy. Enjoy your life. No matter what is happening, and that sometimes is a very difficult task to ask of any soul. Enjoy what you are doing. Enjoy what is happening, and enjoy those that are sharing the experience with you. Because each and everything that's happening right now, every challenge, every experience is actually there to benefit you in some way. Our soul challenge is to acknowledge the benefits so that we can access the blessings. Without understanding the benefits of what you're going through, you can't get to the blessings. Blessings come when you have completed what you're trying to do. So, continuing with the breath, moving it into a deeper and deeper space until it's all the way down into the very core of the root chakra. And see what the breath does when it comes to facilitating energy in the base chakra, where all things are fundamentally and foundationally rooted in your being. And set your intention right now to send the breath into that very, very deepest, furthest from the heart space and place. And let that breath expand it and open it. Opening to the possibility that life can be lived without judgment, and that life is definitely meant to be lived without fear. And that when there is space and place for that to cleanse and clear and shift and move, everything from there up begins to recalibrate and take on a different role and a different energy. So taking the breath way, way down deep into the root, and allowing it to circulate and expand the energy in the root chakra. And as you breathe out, gently and lovingly let the breath rise up through all of the other chakras, opening and expanding, cleansing and purifying, bringing the joy, bringing the love, bringing the light, bringing the energy, bringing the frequency, bringing the awareness, bringing the insights and the energy all the way to the crown. And trust that as the crown is opening and expanding as well, it's not only releasing the judgments and fears that are still embedded in your being, but it's inviting in a new energy from the universe that is meant to fill that space. So call that energy into your being through the crown, through that expanded tunnel and facility of streaming energy that you just opened up. Let it fall all the way down through your body and your being to the very root of your soul, the root of your chakras. And we're going to ask that it be filled with patience, perseverance, and power. And this time, the power is actually designated power in the name of love. And that love and the power of that love has the ability and the authority to transfer, transmit, transcend, and transport you to a much higher level without you being afraid of what that means, without you being judgmental about the difference that it can make, without you needing to understand what's going to happen. Trust. And as you think of the word trust, see yourself just writing the word trust in the energy of light right across the floor in the base chakra, in the root chakras. Write it right there. Trust. I trust. I trust me. I trust source. I trust love. I trust life. And I trust that I can live it as a free human soul. I trust all of this. And then using the breath, I want you to just breathe across the top of everything you've written and watch it come to light. It may be flames, it may be just energy, it may be sparkles, it may be stars, it can be any kind of energy that you relate to. But set it on fire, light it up, activate it, energize it, and see yourself standing in the center of it. Center of your power, center of your love, the center of your light. Breathing in, so it is. And as you breathe out, and so it shall be. And we can open our eyes. Okay. So the message that Source has brought forward tonight, and I'm really excited about this because it affects everything about everything and everyone. We're going to be talking about the power of the will that Source has. People have a tendency to say, may God's will be done. May Source will be done. And that is fine. But believe it or not, our will overrides the will of Source. Did you know that? When we were given the right and the power of free will, our will supersedes and overrides God's will. That's hard to imagine, isn't it? That we have that kind of power. We know that the Creator is omnipotent. We know the Creator has endless power, endless love, endless light. So what does that say about each and every one of us? What is the message it sends when the source of our creation gives us power of the will to be and do and choose and live and exist on that level? That's an incredible amount of freedom that we're not using. It's an incredible amount of power we're not using. And it's an incredible connection we're not using. So somewhere inside of us, the power of our will has either been disconnected or lost. And we know nothing is ever lost forever. But you can pretend that you don't know where it is, and you don't know what it is, and you don't know how it works. And well, just little old me, how can I possibly be that powerful? Well, until we own our power and stand in the power of what we have been given, how can we create the changes that are meant to happen? The darkness figured it out a long time ago. I mean, you know, God bless them. They're not stupid. They took the power, they used the power, they learned from the power and how to disconnect it and how to diminish love. They've been brilliant at it. So if it in fact does work and it has an effect, we need to be very conscious of what that effect can be and our role in taking back our power, which comes through our free will. Now, when we talk about it being free will, is it actually free? Yes, it is. There's no price you can put on it. There's no limit that you can attach to it. There's no conditions that it holds that you are either good enough or you're not good enough. We're the only ones that do that. We're the ones that measure and diminish our own rights and our own freedom. Nothing else and no one else has that power or that right. So I'm going to just it's a channeled message, so I'm going to read it to you. And at the end of that, we will go through a discussion about different aspects of it. So if something stands out to you when I'm reading through this, really pay attention to that. Trust that somehow your heart is speaking to you and saying, that's important to you. That means something to you. That's a key for you. There'll be a lot of what I'm reading that you got your little check mark out and go, oh, did that, good to go. But there will be some that is shared that will resonate on a different frequency, and it will be necessary that you do pay attention to it. Because as creators right now, we are responsible for the shift that is taking place, how quickly it happens, how much time and effort and struggle we want to put into it. And by the way, struggle is optional. It's something that we have been used to as what we've been told is necessary. If you don't work hard, you're hardly working, you're not making money, you're no good. All these programs and things that are part of the old paradigm are no longer relevant. And yet it's amazing how many of those ideas and how much of that information is still rattling around in our consciousness. We can no longer afford to entertain it and allow it to occupy any space in our energy field. It has no place in our energy field. And as of today, we're going to work at making sure there's no space for it in our energy field. So here we go. I'm just going to read it as it was given to me. And again, whatever resonates with you, just take a moment and acknowledge it and know that there's something in there that is a key to your freedom, your soul, your reconnection to your power. So the power of free will. Source designed free will as a way of granting us the power of manifestation and expansion. We are empowered to manifest and create anything we desire. There are no limitations, conditions, or requirements of us using our free will. We have the right to choose whatever we desire to experience as an empowered creator. The power of our will overrides God's will. That's a double-edged sword. We have the right to use our free will to enhance our own soul or diminish our own soul. The power of love is greatly affected by our free will choices. The choices that we make have consequences. These are what is called karma correction. When we choose one side of the point of balance, we must also accept and experience the opposite side of it. When we use our free will to hurt or harm others, we will inevitably experience the same treatment. Our free will is used to determine what kind of person we choose to be. Do we want to be kind and loving? Or are we mean and unloving? Sometimes we can be both, because we'll be kind and loving to others, and then we're mean and unloving to ourselves. So that's a little one to pay attention to. Both sides of free will teach us to value what it is, what it does, and how it works. Every single thing we experience as a soul is a choice. Even not choosing or avoiding choosing is still a choice. As we evolve and awaken to the consequences of our choices, we recognize the importance of it. Consequences are part of how we learn, how we grow, how we pay attention, and what kind of an awareness we develop. Choose love, and choosing it creates loving opportunities and loving experiences. Choosing unloving ways creates unloving experiences and consequences that we participate in until we choose differently. Still coming back to choice. Recognizing we are the source of our own free will and how we choose to use it is a vital part of awakening our soul. The awakened soul self will begin to desire more of the choices to be loving, kind, fair, and truthful. Sleeping self will desire to maintain the old ways through the choice of being a victim, powerless, unsure, or insecure. The source of creation respects our choices and will not intervene, interfere, or override our free will, ever. Learning to surrender in each moment to defer your free will to source with "let thy will be done" does bring an element of healing. We do start to move ourselves in the direction of what would God choose? What would source choose? This is what I'm choosing. Is that what source would choose? Connecting to the source of creation begins the long journey back to the awareness of love resides in all things. Appreciating the value and purpose of love helps us restore our soul to the higher levels of healing light.
Want to do some puzzle?
Okay. Sorry about that, an interruption. Choosing more loving thoughts, feelings, and intentions will enhance the healing journey and increase it in frequency. Now, that's a play on words. When we say it increases the frequency, it is talking about energy and vibration. And yes, the frequencies rise up and are higher. But frequency also can be used in the amount of times and repetitions that a lesson takes. As we frequently do the same thing, we frequently repeat the same problems, or frequently end up in the same place based on our choices. So frequencies play a big role in our up and down movement of our soul and what we're reflecting, what we are embodying. Choosing unloving thoughts, feelings, and intentions will deplete our health, our happiness, and the healing powers are no longer able to function. So a lot of it comes back to recognizing it's important to really pay attention to the choices you're making. If you're choosing it and it's loving, you rise up. If you're choosing it and it is unloving, you descend. That's pretty basic. And you're going to start to realize more and more as you play with these concepts and you play with your free will, knowing the power that it has and the difference it makes. It will change your life in pretty dramatic ways. So free will equals power. Power equals choices. Choices equal consequences. And unfortunately, this part is completely missing in an entire generation who have been raised with there are no consequences. You can do whatever you choose to do and somebody else will pay the price. So there's a lot of correction needed in that level. Consequences equal life experiences. Experiences equal life challenges. Life challenges equal living. Living in the experience of love and unloving equals karma. Karma is all about discovering balance. It's not about payback. It's not about an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. It's about understanding that within yourself, you are responsible for your own point of balance. Balance is living in harmony. Living is all about finding happiness. Everyone thinks that somehow when we're healthy, when we're wealthy, when things happen, when it's done, then we'll be happy. It's actually the opposite way around. If we focus our life and our daily moment to moment existence to what makes me happy, what brings happiness into my being. If we focus on that, happiness ends up creating health, and health creates wholeness, and wholeness creates worthiness, and worthiness creates a sense of complete self-love. Self-love is your divine power. And when we arrive in that place, in that space of energetic frequencies where we are standing in our divine power, we become source. That's what source energy is. Our free will power has the ability to offer us any possibility, any variables, potential, and a range of love and light. Our free will power overrides source energy. Our free will choices manifest all kinds of variations of what love is. The less we love, the dimmer our light becomes. The dimmer our light becomes, the more we doubt ourselves and our self-worth. The more we doubt ourselves and our self-worth, the more we feel unwell, unhappy, and unhealthy. The more unworthy we feel, the more we do things that express that low level of light. The lower we go, the more we forget who we are and why we're here and what we're capable of being and doing. The lowest level of light is complete darkness, where we cannot see our worth, our light, our power, our truth, or our love as having any value at all. These are all realms of lost souls who have chosen with their own free will to deny their love and the connection to source. This is a realm we associate with as called hell on earth. It doesn't mean that you're lost, disconnected, unwanted, unwelcomed, or unworthy of source's love. It simply means that you've used your free will to decline, deny, and denounce the connection. The connection's still there. It's you that has diminished it through your choices. We are never lost or alone in our soul's journey. We're all one, and eternally this is true. When a soul feels lost, it simply means that they have turned their back on source energy and love. Turning around will reveal the truth. Source is always and eternally there for every creation, no matter what they choose or what they have chosen in the past. If you choose to connect to source within, immediately things will begin to change. And that change comes from you being willing to allow it, willing to connect to it, willing to become an empowered creator. So yeah, that was a little bit of a long bit of information, and I will include it in our email that goes out so that you can review through it. There was a lot there to consider. There's a lot there to align to what resonates with you as far as looking for places to do self-correction. Connection to source within is our main source of creative power right now. It gives us a sense of purpose. It gives us a sense of direction. And it also helps us feel worthy of the roles we have been given or that we have chosen. We cannot choose to step forward and serve humanity if we are going to take the same issues that humanity has and just move them forward. We must correct the dysfunctional part of our emotional self. We must reprogram the old ways, the old thoughts, the old fears. And part of that is also taking a look at the tools that you are using that are part of the past and not necessarily an enhancement of the role that you will play in the future. And by that, what I was shown is, and I include myself in this, it was a bit of an eye-opener. Stop expecting your crystals to clear your karma. Yes, they helped you clear your perception. They help you clear your ability to see things differently. Crystals are incredibly intelligent creations, but they are not source. Stop expecting the cards to give you a sense of direction, a sense of purpose, a sense of information and direction. Yes, we used them to help ourselves come this far when there was no one else to talk to, when we weren't fully connected to source. We depended on these for inspiration and a sense of direction, a sense of connection to something that actually had meaning or purpose. So the cards have been an incredible gift and a blessing that we have all used and we have all depended on. But they are not part of the conscious creation and the free will power that is moving us forward. It's getting connected to the actual energy, the essence, the frequency, the vibration of love within, which is the source of your creation. And that source of that creation is inside your heart. That's where the information is. That's where the map is. That's where the blueprint is. That's where the intelligence of everything that we are here to transform and change can be witnessed and understood by following your heart. And part of the disconnection that I'm seeing in a lot of those who are chosen healers, and by that I mean you chose yourself, by your choice, you became a healer, you came here to heal. I don't believe that there's, the chosen ones are a select few. No, every breathing human being can be a chosen one because you choose you to step forward into that. You choose to be one who can consciously create a different world, and it comes from the power that is within you. And the source of creation in your heart is the source of your supply. So yeah, that's very wordy, but I'm incredibly excited about the potential it unlocks, the direction that it opens up, and the level of love that fills the space when we consider the possibilities beyond where we've been. That's what we're being asked to do. Consider the possibilities, not to discount in any way the tools that we've used, the things that we've learned, the experiences we've had. That is part of our wisdom. But now you become the crystal, you become the card, you become the guru that you think you're looking for, because that guru that is you is the source within that can help you transcend and move forward in ways that nothing else can. There isn't anyone or anything that can move us at the speed of light the way our connection to source can. That's what it's there for. And we really need to not be afraid of it anymore, or to not think that we're not good enough, or we're not smart enough, or we're not young enough, or whatever the excuse that you've told yourself and whatever program plays in the background. Source just wants love to fill everything everywhere. And it seems like a simple request, but boy, could we make it complicated. We are masters of complication. And part of that whole complication programming is that we have disconnected or chosen a disconnection right now in comprehension. And we will be working, the Core 33 group in our next meeting. We will be working specifically with a frequency to assist us in reconnecting our ability to comprehend. Because I know, and based on the work that I've been doing now for a very long time, I am able to explain things to people. I am able to show people things. I am able to identify and open doors. But what I'm seeing consistently is people can hear, but they're not listening. They can look, but they're not seeing. They can read, but they're not retaining. So there's something in our comprehension that has been compromised. And this is part of our forgetfulness. It's part of our, I was just thinking something and there it's gone, or I had a dream and it was amazing insight and I can't recall it. Our comprehension has been compromised to the point where it makes it really challenging to get through those day-to-day moments where we can be self-correcting. If your comprehension isn't functioning, you're going to skip right through and you're not going to pay attention to it at all. That moment's going to come and go, and the beauty of what could have happened right there is missed and lost. So for those of you in the Core 33 that are interested in working on that specific recording, that will be next week. For others that are just part of our general group, and I don't say just, because God only knows our general group are a support system energetically and lovingly, supportingly, they're carrying us along with what we're doing too. So understand that we appreciate what you're doing. It's just that the ones that have stepped forward in leadership roles right now, you really need to be able to roll your sleeves up and step into some deep work. And if you think you've done it, you think you've been there, and you think you've got it and you got it all figured out, I can promise you right now, and this includes me, we have not touched the tip of the iceberg of where we are about to be taken on this amazing journey and ride. So, dust yourself off, lift yourself up, take whatever it is that you have been, leaning on, depending on. If it's someone, I suggest you take a look at that. If it's something, take a look at that. Because the only one that can do what you were assigned and chose to do when you came here for this particular project on this planet, you're the only one that can activate that and fully embody that and become that so that you can be that. You're it. We're here to support each other and encourage each other, but that part we cannot do for each other. We must do it ourselves. So yeah, ooh, a little preachy today. So I'm gonna just zip it for a bit, open the floor to questions, and yeah, what's the response? Where do we want to go? Okay, where did my little arrow go? There it is. Nancy, go ahead.
I think this is perfect timing about will, because I just watched a program a couple of days ago that showed how easily people are programmed when they're not connected to their will. So it explained mind, heart, and will, and then the people all in a mall, and the guy just said a few words, and all of a sudden everyone in the mall would raise their hands. So it was mind-blowing that he could do that, but he explained when you're connected to will, no one can program you, no one can even touch you.
That's correct.
So I'm grateful for this, because that's exciting to all fall into play with what I've watched already.
I think you're going to see a lot more of it. From what I understand in my deep conversation with Source, because a lot of it was me kind of going, oh, never thought of that. Oh, right. I was in awe of a lot of it too, but the importance and the significance of it is absolutely essential. If we are going to flip the script, if we are going to live fully in the new reality that is already here, we've taken the quantum leap. If anybody's doubting, we've already taken the leap, but we're all standing there on the other side going, now what? And we're trying to draw across the great divide of where we just left from the way we used to be and the way we used to do things and the way we understood things. The tools we used were got us that far, and God bless them for that.
Yeah.
But
And
we
this-
cannot use them on this side of the Great Divide. This is a new reality. So
Same
thank you.
what you said about the crystals, because I'm forever putting crystals in my pocket to protect me when I leave the house. I say a declaration, a prayer of protection, and I was told the other day to stop doing that. So I've got it on the fridge and I walk by, and it's just the weirdest feeling because I always said it. But I was told just surround yourself with light. That's me. And
Yeah.
there.
But
I don't-
be grateful for the role that they played and the
Mhm.
part of the journey that they shared with you, because they are an intelligence and they are a gift that we have used. And I feel that it's not about saying, okay, they've all got to move out of my space and my place. That's not it. It's just that we are not relying on them for connection to source.
Mhm.
The connection is within, and we must get that anchored in so strongly and so powerfully right now, so that when things keep blowing through, and they will, we are not affected by it. We are not, we don't waver. We just hold it. We trust. Our faith is strong. Our heart is open. The love is pouring, because that is what is needed more than anything else right now, to fill the space and the place that we occupy with that level of love. We
Mhm.
can do it.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes,
Okay, Melissa,
I-
go ahead.
yes, it's funny and it's interesting. Every time we have these meetings, the topic of that's discussed comes up for me literally as a lesson in the day. And today I stood in my power and my will, where I had a choice. And my decision, like, to be in my power, it was very impactful. As all you know, everything I've told you, I'm moving, and today I actually went to the place to have the first look at the place since, well, I'm renting it. And I get in there, and it wasn't quite cleaned as I would expect it to be. And I went over there with intentions to start just maybe bringing a few things over. And I looked around, and this whole year for me, I stand more in my power. And I had 1 second of an instant of a little bit of doubt. Oh, maybe I shouldn't rock the boat. Maybe I should just, I'll just clean myself. Like, I stood in my power. I texted my agent and texted the other person, and they were coming over, and I stood in my power. And it went from a little bit like high emotions to leveling out to understanding each other. And within tomorrow, they're bringing cleaners over to clean it. And I'm allowed, they're asking me to go there, and it can be cleaned to my expectations. And it's like, 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have ever, like, I wouldn't have been that successful to stay in my own power and my will. And my will, what I asked for within my will, it manifested. It was like I'm still like, I ain't cold shivers now, because it was a total outcome that any person really in humanity should expect and receive the gift of moving into a house and to be clean. And once again, it took every time, each and every day now, I'm more and more living, embodying this, where you stay in your truth and your power, anything can happen. And
Yes. I think it's time that we realized the amount that we have been compromising
Yep.
is ridiculous. And because we can, and because we're soft-natured and gentle-hearted, we have stood in that energy of, I will be the one to compromise. And in God's light and in God's truth, with this work, there is no compromising.
Yep.
There's none. And it's not about being difficult or being have expectations that are unrealistic. That's not it. So we will have some adjustment of back and forth figuring that out, but it is asking yourself, am I compromising anything of my work, of my morals, my integrity? Am I compromising anything? Because if I am, that's a choice with a consequence.
yep.
So if you can handle the consequence, go ahead and make the choice. But I'm not choosing consequences that are anything but uplifting and loving now. Whereas before I was one of the ones that would be the first to say, well, I'll give in on that. Not anymore.
I know, it's like in my heart now, it's like, feels good. And it's like,
Yeah. It does feel good because it's in alignment with what is meant to be. And quite a few of us are still not fully in alignment with what is meant to be. And it just means that we're somewhere on our way to there. Don't think you're doing anything wrong. That's not what this is about. It's just about looking at what you are doing and softening it in a way that enhances it to be better. Not compromise, but to improve. And be gentle with yourself, but at the same time, be realistic. Our connections are so important that we can stand in the light of our truth and our connection to source and just know beyond all knowing that the direction we're moving is one that enhances not only ourselves, but our communities and the rest of our world and the collective. That needs to be something that we align ourselves to consistently. Okay, who else?
You have a couple of hands up up top, Donna, Quentin and Penny Moore.
Okay. Quentin, go ahead.
Thank you. I just got a text from Peter. He says, "Oh, just unmute yourself and speak." And I went, "Oh, okay, so that's how we work." I wanted to thank you again. I was enjoying everything you were saying. I took the pleasure of writing down as much as I could in the comments. And something that I was really inspired by was we have the power to override source.
That's amazing,
And
isn't it?
the first thought that came to my mind, I find was kind of, is it it reminds me of because that's a very powerful thing to say in today's age, and how the generation of no consequences today. I like that you bring that in. But the image that came to me is, it's sort of like when Bob Dylan took his folk music and brought an electric guitar into it, and the outcry of people, could you do this to folk music? That's destroying the music. And he's really just changing the medium, his source, and the lyrics were still propelling through. Similar to, like, I'm not challenging our creator. I'm not saying I am the one. However, we do have that power because it was given within us. And similar with crystals, I love that you also bring that in. It reminds me as well, as if you are a musician and let's say crystals are lyrics, and you go to your shows with a book of songs and you're relying on these lyrics, but you don't remember the music inside of you, one day you're going to miss or misplace your book of lyrics and you'll forget every chord. And then when it's time for you to perform, you won't remember them. Similar to crystals, if you lose them and you feel that this is the only thing that protects you, and it enhances you. But yeah, I love that you say it doesn't clear the karma.
Yeah. There are so many things that were gifted to us, and I do honor them as a gift, that were a transitionary tool to help us get from fully asleep to fully awake. And they will forever be honored and respected for that. It's not to discount that part in any way, because like I said, they all have an intelligence that has been contributing all the way along to the upliftment, and will continue to play a role in it. But it is essential right now that we have our own inner core crystal in alignment and attunement, so that our resonator with source is so easy to listen to connect to relate to. That's where we're at right now. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just saying, it's a beautiful thing. Don't mind me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Penny, where did you go? You moved wherever you are. Is Penny still here? No? Okay. Someone else have a question or something they'd like to share?
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted.
Oh, you should
Anyway, I
make
just
that button bigger.
no, you have to find it. You have to keep it in front of my face.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I just wanted to say that this goes back farther in your conversation, but because there's so much that was said, it's amazing. But I just wanted to say we have to learn to walk through our day in God, in source. And what I mean by that is that every every waking hour, because you're obviously not doing while you're sleeping, but every waking hour, you have to know that you are source, you have God within. And then everything you do is knowing that it comes directly from source. So it's almost like having an open pipeline to source all day long. That's what I learned. And as far as the tools, I mean, I'm one to use I used to use the crystals, the cards and everything else, but it dawned on me one day, I don't need these anymore. I probably never needed them in the first place, because once you have that connection to source, it's right there. You just have to tap into it. Kind of understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, but I think they have been a part in, like I said, the transitionary gift that was given
Exactly.
to help us go
Yeah.
from asleep to awake. All these little tools were beautiful and purposeful and blessings that played a significant role, and they will always have respect and gratitude for that. But
Exactly.
Thank you, Penny. But I will say as well, when we're asleep, we're closer to source than ever. So
Oh yeah,
never think because you close your eyes that anything is not as it was, and maybe even a little better without our attitude in the way.
Well, I'm talking about our conscious connection, right? Because when we're sleeping, it's subconscious, right?
Yes.
But I wanted to say, and another thing I learned, that as far as being, because one of the ladies had mentioned about protection, I thought, I am the protection, I am the light. All I have to do is walk out there for whatever I'm doing from day to day, and just expand my light, and I'm protected.
Yeah.
But like you say, we did have to go through all these stages to get to where we are now.
Well, unfortunately, or should I say, it's divine design that expansion comes by going into the darkest of places and turning the light on.
Exactly.
So, God is very grateful for each and every one of us that we're willing to be the ones to go into the darkest of darkness. And we all know we've definitely been there. Got more than one coffee cup and t-shirt.
Exactly. And when we do heal the shadows of ourselves, it's just, you can just tell your vibration is going higher and higher and higher and higher. It's like peeling the layers of an onion, right? Every time we clear something that's a shadow part within us, then our vibration is just goes higher and higher. And it's so fantastic because you can actually feel it within your very being.
Yes.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you, Penny.
Thanks.
Anyone else? No? Okay. All right, then I trust that whatever was needed to be shared was, I don't have everyone on my screen. Does anyone else see a hand up? I don't.
There's Arlene Dickens. She's got her hand up.
Oh, okay. Arlene?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. First of all, Donna, this is the first one I've been able to get on, and I'm so grateful and so thankful. Your message brought me to tears. It so resonated with my heart. Trust has always been a #1 issue with me because I was sexually abused when I was 5 and 6. So trust has been very hard for me to get back into that trust.
Yeah.
So your message today, just so, like, I'm getting goosebumps all over the place here. My crown chakra just opened up. And the heart, getting back into the heart, opening my heart. And I've always gifted my love that source put in my heart to my animals, and I always got that in return. But about 10 years ago, source told me I had to give that love to people now instead of all my animals. So now I've been the last 10 years sharing it with people, and it's amazing how it comes back. And so I just thank you so much, sweetheart, for your message, for you being who you are, for everybody who is here on this Zoom. I love all of you so much. You have no idea how my heart has just opened so full. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for taking that leap of faith, because it's probably one of the most difficult for us to do. And yet the rewards or the consequences of that choice are truly incredible. So we just keep honoring our choices and knowing that they are taking us to a better place, or they're taking us to a life lesson that is part of going to a better place. There's no right or wrong to it. There's just where we are and where our heart is guiding us to go and be. So thank you for sharing that beautiful story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. All right, everyone. I will include the notes from tonight in the email that I send out. And that way you can review it again if you're so inclined. If there are things that are happening in your world that are still causing you grief or hurt or pain in any way, please reach out to someone. Yes, they're going to guide you back to yourself. That's what we're all going to do. We're all going to guide you right back to yourself. But sometimes just having someone walk beside you during that process of you connecting to yourself is a gift that is needed. And it's always a beautiful thing when we can help each other in that way. But I do really suggest and challenge each of us to spend more time with that inner connection, knowing that you have everything you need to succeed. Everything is there, and everything that you are here to do is a part of that inner connection. You can't go wrong with that. You can't not do what you came here to do. And I think that's what a lot of us have been worried about forever and ever. Amen. What if I don't get what I'm supposed to be doing done? You can't not do it at this point. Remember, you're in the quantum field. Yeah, we're a little disoriented. We're a bunch of fireflies flinging around the garden right now, not knowing where to go, but damn it, we're here. We made it. Oh, let's just continue to trust we're in a beautiful place, and we're doing what we are here to do. No matter how grand or how small that is, one is no greater or better than the other. It's all essential. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we'll just do a little prayer of closure and gratitude, and just ask that the source of all that is holy and divine, that dwells within each and every one of us, all around us, and in everything, everywhere. We ask that you continue to inspire us to keep moving forward by going inward. And on that inward journey, we discover the greatness of heaven on earth, the greatness of health and well-being, the greatness of being abundantly happy and provided for in every possible way. We know that the gifts and the blessings that we carry within our hearts are here to gift the world with a new way of being and seeing. And we honor that each of us can only be the best that we can be in order to accomplish that service. And so we are grateful and thankful we continue to join together in that intention. And so it is, and so it shall be.
And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you.